We use AI to create short stories based on the lore of Warhammer 40,000 using information we feed it. We then use another AI to turn them into short audiobooks. Note these are not canon, and in many cases stray away from the lore altogether. All rights and credit to references used are given to Games Workshop. Enjoy.
Book 2, The Battle of Six Armies. In the fiery depths of the volcanic planet Nocturne, the Salamanders, renowned warriors of the Imperium, clashed with the forces of the Iron Warriors, their bitter rivals from the traitorous Chaos Space Marine legions. The battle raged across the desolate landscape as the Salamanders' green-armored warriors unleashed torrents of Promethean flame upon the Iron Warriors' ironclad ranks, their ancient grudges fueling their determination to purge the planet of chaos taint. With each thunderous explosion, the ground trembled beneath their feet, echoing the unyielding resolve of these indomitable warriors of the Emperor. Amidst the chaotic turmoil of the Salamanders and Iron Warriors' clash, a raucous warband of savage orcs descended upon the battlefield with their crude vehicles and bellowing war cries. The ground shook as their heavy footfalls resonated, unsettling both loyalist and traitor alike. The Salamanders and Iron Warriors momentarily ceased their hostilities, realizing that they faced a common enemy in these greenskin invaders. Despite their differences, the Imperium and the forces of chaos formed an unlikely alliance, setting aside their grudges to confront the greenskin menace together. As the dust settled and the smoke cleared, an imposing figure emerged from the heart of the orc horde. Towering over his brethren, this massive orc stood twice the height of a regular greenskin. Clad in crude makeshift armor adorned with trophies of war, he wielded a colossal jagged cleaver that crackled with an eerie green energy. The ground quivered with each step of the colossal orc, and his mere presence inspired a primal fear among both loyalist and traitor forces alike. This creature, known as Gorgash the Devastator, had become a living legend among the orcs, his insatiable lust for destruction matched only by his immense physical power. Just as Gorgash the Devastator was about to unleash a booming war cry, the ground beneath him suddenly quivered once again, but this time with a distinct rhythm. A peculiar sight unfolded as a group of Tau Fire warriors, clad in their sleek battlesuits, awkwardly hopped and danced their way into the battlefield, attempting to mimic the orcs' rowdy war chants. Their synchronized movements were a comical contrast to the savage nature of the ongoing conflict. Gorgash paused, his immense frame shaking with laughter at the absurd display before him. The unexpected arrival of the Tau had momentarily transformed the battlefield into a surreal spectacle, leaving both the Salamanders and Iron Warriors momentarily bewildered. The Salamanders and Iron Warriors momentarily set aside their differences, finding themselves caught between laughter and confusion as they faced the Tau Fire Warriors' dance routine. Meanwhile, Gorgash the Devastator, still chuckling, saw an opportunity to unleash his devastating might upon both the unsuspecting Tau and the distracted Space Marines and Chaos forces. With a bellowing roar, Gorgash rallied his orc horde, directing their frenzied charge towards the bewildered Tau Fire Warriors, eager to show them the true meaning of war. The battlefield erupted once again, as the Salamanders, Iron Warriors and Tau were forced to abandon their comic interlude and face the grim reality of battle. Just as Gorgash and his orcs closed in on the Tau Fire Warriors, a blinding display of shimmering lights and vibrant colors erupted from the Tau ranks. The Tau commander, seizing the opportunity to turn the tide of battle, unleashed a burst of confetti and fireworks, creating a dazzling spectacle. To the surprise of everyone on the battlefield, the Tau Fire Warriors suddenly broke into a coordinated dance routine, their battlesuits adorned with frills, feathers, and silly hats. With a blend of precision and absurdity, they twirled, spun, and high-kicked, their movements more reminiscent of a synchronized performance than a battle. Even Gorgash and his orcs couldn't help but momentarily pause, captivated by the sheer unexpectedness of the display. The battlefield was filled with laughter and confusion, as friend and foe alike were left questioning the sanity of the Tau. As the dance routine reached its crescendo, the Tau Fire Warriors dramatically tore off their comedic attire, revealing their true colors beneath. Each battlesuit bore the distinctive markings and symbols of the Tau Sept, signifying their allegiance and unity. The once whimsical display transformed into a display of disciplined precision and martial prowess. The Tau commander, standing at the forefront, radiated an aura of authority, embodying the unwavering spirit of the Tau Empire. The Salamanders, Iron Warriors, and even Gorgash the Devastator, momentarily awestruck, realized that they underestimated the Tau's strategic cunning and adaptability. With a renewed sense of determination, the Tau warriors seamlessly transitioned from dance to combat, their movements infused with calculated grace, ready to face the onslaught of their adversaries. The Salamander captain, his eyes ablaze with fiery determination, swiftly assessed the evolving battlefield. With the unexpected appearance of the Tau and their impressive display, he recognized the need to shift his focus. Understanding the formidable nature of Gorgash the Devastator and his orcs, the Salamander captain made a strategic decision. He ordered his forces to divert their attention from the Tau and turn their combined might towards engaging Gorgash and his horde. The Salamanders, renowned for their resilience and mastery of flame, unleashed a torrent of promethium-infused fury upon the orcs, seeking to disrupt the greenskin onslaught and prevent Gorgash from wreaking further havoc. With their legendary flamers and melter guns in hand, the Salamanders forged a path of righteous fire through the chaos, determined to extinguish the threat posed by the towering orc entity. While the Salamander captain turned his attention towards Gorgash and the orcs, the Iron Warrior's captain, a master of siege warfare, assessed the battlefield with a calculating gaze. Recognizing the strategic advantage that the Tau's unexpected arrival had created, he saw an opportunity to exploit their distraction. With a voice that echoed like thunder across the battlefield, he commanded his Iron Warriors to encircle and press their assault upon the Tau forces. The captain knew that eliminating the Tau's advanced technology and ranged capabilities would disrupt their coordinated dance of battle. The Iron Warriors, wielding their brutal weaponry and relentless determination, set their sights on dismantling the Tau's defensive lines, determined to crush their resistance and plunge them into chaos. With every step, the Iron Warrior's captain forged a path of devastation, his forces unleashing a barrage of firepower and siege engines to break the Tau's disciplined ranks. As the chaos unfolded around them, the Tau captain, a paragon of tactical acumen, swiftly assessed the changing dynamics of the battlefield. With the Salamanders engaging the orcs and the Iron Warriors targeting the Tau, the captain realized the importance of neutralizing the Iron Warriors' siege capabilities. With a calm yet resolute demeanor, he issued orders to his forces to prioritize countering the Iron Warriors' relentless advance. The Tau battlesuits, armed with advanced weaponry and supported by drones, unleashed a coordinated barrage of precision fire upon the Iron Warriors' siege engines, aiming to disable their formidable war machines. The captain utilized the Tau's superior mobility and strategic positioning, orchestrating hit-and-run tactics and employing deceptive maneuvers to outmaneuver the Iron Warriors' relentless assault. With each calculated strike, the Tau captain aimed to disrupt the Iron Warriors' coordination and create an opening for the Tau forces to regain control of the battlefield. In the midst of the raging battle, the ground shook once more as a swirling vortex of energy materialized nearby. From its depths emerged a squad of Grey Knights, the legendary Space Marine chapter tasked with combating the forces of chaos. Their silver armor shimmered with protective wards, their psychic might emanating an aura of purity and righteousness. However, their arrival was not a planned reinforcement, but a desperate escape. Hot on their heels, the tendrils and chitinous monstrosities of Hive Fleet Jormungandr, a relentless tyrannid menace, pursued them relentlessly. With no time to spare, the Grey Knights fought back to back, forming a defensive perimeter to hold off the encroaching tyrannids, while desperately seeking a way to regroup and join the ongoing conflict. The battlefield trembled with the clash of titanic forces as the Grey Knights, Salamanders, Iron Warriors, and Tau found themselves united against a common enemy, the unholy alliance of the Orcs and the ever-hungry Hive Fleet. As the tyrannid swarm closed in on the chaotic battlefield, the monstrous figure of the Brood Lord emerged from the shadows. Towering over its lesser tyrannid kin, the Brood Lord possessed an intelligence and cunning that set it apart. Sensing the presence of powerful psychic energies emanating from the Grey Knights, the Brood Lord fixated its attention on the Space Marine Psykers. With lightning-quick movements, it directed its forces, diverting the bulk of the tyrannid swarm towards the Grey Knights, their psychic potential enticing the insatiable hunger of the hive mind. The Brood Lord, with its own psychic prowess, aimed to sever the connection between the Grey Knights and their potent warp abilities, leaving them vulnerable to the relentless onslaught of the Tyranids. With a chilling hiss, the Brood Lord led its horde in a relentless pursuit, its dark presence casting a shadow of fear upon the battlefield. Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, a Tau warrior stood tall, his battlesuit adorned with intricate markings that denoted his esteemed rank. Commander Ralai, renowned for his tactical brilliance and unwavering courage, emerged as the hero among the Tau forces. With calculated precision, he directed his warriors, their battlesuits synchronized in a dance of deadly efficiency. Ralai's keen intellect allowed him to anticipate the movements of the enemy, adapting his strategies in real time. Spotting an opportunity, Ralai led a detachment of crisis battlesuits in a swift flanking maneuver, their jetpacks propelling them across the battlefield with unparalleled speed. They soared over the heads of the Iron Warriors, bypassing their fortified positions, and unleashed a devastating volley of pulse weaponry upon the rear ranks. The Iron Warriors, caught off guard by the sudden assault, scrambled to respond, but Ralai's forces had already retreated, leaving confusion and disarray in their wake. Utilizing his mastery of the Montka strategy, Ralai coordinated a synchronized assault with the Salamanders, striking at the weakened flank of Gorgash the Devastator's Orc horde. The combined forces of the Tau and the Salamanders unleashed a barrage of firepower, cutting through the green-skin ranks with precise volleys of plasma and flamethrowers. Ralai's presence on the battlefield inspired his fellow warriors as they fought with renewed vigor and unwavering discipline. As the battle raged on, Ralai's keen senses detected the encroaching threat of the Brood Lord and its Tyranid swarm. Realizing the imminent danger, he swiftly redirected his forces, setting up a defensive line fortified with drone support and shielding technology. Ralai unleashed a volley of marker-light fire, illuminating the Brood Lord and exposing its position to a barrage of railgun fire from the Tau hammerhead tanks. The combined firepower tore through the Tyrannid horde, momentarily halting their advance and buying precious time for the other forces to regroup. Throughout the battle, Ralai remained a steadfast beacon of leadership and resilience, his strategic mind tirelessly analyzing the ever-shifting battlefield. He coordinated his forces with precision, leveraging the strengths of the Tau technology and their mobile warfare doctrine. With each calculated maneuver, Ralai pressed the advantage, exploiting weaknesses and turning the tide of battle in their favor. His unwavering commitment to the greater good and his unmatched tactical prowess made him a hero among the Tau, inspiring his fellow warriors to fight with unmatched valor and determination as they sought to reclaim victory on the war-torn battlefield. As the battle reached its climax, the fates of Gorgash the Devastator and the Brood Lord hung in the balance. Gorgash, infused with an indomitable spirit and monstrous strength, fought with a relentless fury, smashing through Salamanders and Iron Warriors alike. However, the combined might of the Salamanders, Iron Warriors, and the Tau proved to be an overwhelming force. As Gorgash fought fiercely, his greenskin horde began to dwindle under the relentless onslaught. In a desperate final push, the Salamanders unleashed a devastating barrage of fire upon Gorgash, their flamers and melter guns scorching his hulking form. With a defiant roar, Gorgash finally succumbed to the onslaught, crashing to the ground, his immense presence extinguished. The Orcs, without their towering leader, faltered in disarray, their ferocity diminishing as they struggled to find direction amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, the Brood Lord's fate was entwined with the Tau's determined defense. Though the Tyrannid swarm relentlessly pressed forward, Commander Ralai and his forces stood firm. Ralai's strategic brilliance and unwavering resolve guided the Tau's counteroffensive against the Brood Lord. Through a combination of precise firepower, clever maneuvering, and the sacrifices of brave Tau warriors, they managed to weaken the Brood Lord's control over the swarm. In a final climactic clash, Ralai and the Brood Lord engaged in a titanic battle. The Tau commander unleashed a barrage of fusion blasters and plasma rifles, while the Brood Lord lashed out with its monstrous talons and psychic might. The clash of their powers created a cataclysmic energy surge, shaking the battlefield. With a final devastating blow, Ralai's fusion blaster found its mark, tearing through the Brood Lord's carapace. The mighty Tyrannid creature writhed in its death throes, its psychic connection severed, causing the Tyrannid swarm to scatter and lose cohesion. The Brood Lord's defeat sent shockwaves through the remaining Tyrannids, their collective consciousness shattered. In the end, both Gorgash the Devastator and the Broodlord met their fates on the battlefield. Their respective forces, lacking the leadership and coordination of their fearsome leaders, faltered and ultimately crumbled under the combined might and unwavering determination of the Salamanders, Iron Warriors, and the Tau. The war zone, once engulfed in a fierce struggle, gradually subsided, leaving behind a somber testament to the valor and sacrifice displayed by all involved. With Gorgash the Devastator and the Broodlord vanquished, the battlefield fell into an eerie calm. The combined forces of the Salamanders, Iron Warriors, and the Tau stood amidst the remnants of the battle, assessing the aftermath of their hard-fought victory. Smoke billowed from the scorched earth, the air heavy with the scent of burning promethium and ozone. In the wake of the battle, the surviving orcs scattered, their leader gone and their morale shattered. The remnants of the Tyranid swarm, deprived of their guiding synapse creature, retreated back into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of fallen monstrosities. Amidst the aftermath, the Grey Knights, who had found themselves inadvertently caught in the battle while fleeing from Hive Fleet Jormungandr, regrouped with the other forces. Though battered and bloodied, their psychic resilience and indomitable will endured. They joined the victorious coalition, bringing their potent psychic abilities and unwavering devotion to the Emperor to bolster the ranks of the allied forces. Together, the Salamanders, Iron Warriors, Tau, and Grey Knights began the arduous task of securing the battlefield, tending to the wounded and recovering the fallen. They formed a temporary alliance, setting aside their differences to honor the fallen and pay homage to the sacrifices made in the name of their respective causes. In the days that followed, the alliance dissolved, each faction returning to their own duties and objectives. The Salamanders carried on with their mission to protect humanity. The Iron Warriors sought to further their own twisted agendas. The Tau resumed their expansionist efforts, and the Grey Knights continued their eternal war against the forces of chaos. Yet, the memory of their unlikely alliance and hard-won victory lingered, serving as a reminder that even in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, alliances could form, however fleeting, in the face of a greater threat. The battlefield would forever bear the scars of the clash, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who stood against the horrors of the galaxy. As the dust settled and the immediate aftermath of the battle faded, the reality of their differing ideologies and deep-rooted xenophobia resurfaced among the factions. The Salamanders, guided by their strong sense of loyalty towards humanity, regarded the Xenos races with caution and kept their distance. The Tau, driven by their belief in the greater good, remained committed to their expansionist agenda, wary of potential threats posed by other factions. The Grey Knights, bound by their sacred duty to protect humanity from the taint of chaos, regarded all other forces with suspicion. The Iron Warriors, known for their bitter hatred and disdain for all living beings, including their fellow Space Marines, harbored no regard for alliances or truces. They continued to pursue their own sinister objectives, exploiting the chaos of the battlefield and the weakened defenses left in its wake. The Iron Warriors reveled in their opportunism, launching merciless assaults against all other factions, disregarding any temporary cooperation that had transpired during the battle. Thus, the fragile alliance that had momentarily formed crumbled under the weight of their inherent animosities and irreconcilable differences. The factions resumed their bitter conflicts, each resolute in their own goals, ensuring that the hard-fought victory they had achieved on that battlefield would not lead to lasting cooperation or understanding. The memory of their united front against the Orcs and Tyranids would fade into the annals of history, becoming little more than a footnote in the ongoing struggles and battles that define the grim darkness of the Warhammer 40,000 universe.